Every addict's story is different. As you've seen over the past 2 nights, they come from all walks of life, but the end result is almost always the same: death, jail, or recovery. Tonight, part 3 of our 5-part series. A young man who knows heartbreak and addiction firsthand, determined to make sure these stories end in recovery. This is Out for Life.
This is basically our playground. This is the most freedom we get during our day. A lot of us will get out here on the volleyball court and play volleyball. I know a bunch of felons playing volleyball doesn't sound like the truth, but
you can tell up in the wire there's a few volleyballs.
Yep, we've gone through a couple of volleyballs. Yeah, this is it. This is the closest taste of freedom that we get while we're here. And we only get an hour a day.
We're not the ACC, we're not the state of Arkansas, we're not their guards, and we believe in their potential. And we believe in it because we believe in our own. In the first 2 or 3 weeks, they don't really buy all that. They're just kind of wondering. But after about the 4th week, it starts to sink into them that we're serious. And we've got lots of graduates coming in and out who are successful. And that's enormously encouraging.
My uncle that was successful called me Catfish, and my grandpa that was successful went by Jimmy. So when I went to name the shop, I wanted to name it after successful people in my life, and I named it Catfish Jimmy. I was raised in drugs. I started using when I was 13, started selling when I was young. Pretty much led my whole life revolved around drugs and addiction. Benzos and Valiums and Xanax and Klonopins and any drug I could get my hand on, I would do it. I didn't want to be a tattoo artist if that's not what God wanted me to be. And God said, man, you're the perfect tool for me. You can go places where a lot of people can't. You can reach people that a lot of people can't reach. And I was like, okay, you put it on my heart. And I was like, well, I'm gonna use my tattoo shop for my testimony and my ministry as well. It says, we admit that by ourselves we are powerless over chemical substances and that our life has become unmanageable. That's on page 9. I teach the Conquering Chemical Codependency class. And it's a crash course, 12-week program on the 12-step program. But it's faith-based. I don't speak above them. I don't talk like I'm better than them. I'm one of them. I'm going through the steps with them. I'm doing the program with them. And we share the same past. We share the same stories. Whether you was doing good for a while on parole and something came back and bit you in the butt, whether you failed a drug test once for something, or whether you got popped with something. Drugs were involved somehow in destroying your life and separating you from the ones you love. So you have a problem. Every one of your family members and friends that are sober aren't going to want nothing to do with you. But that's where God's pretty awesome, because he restores those relationships. A lot of times when you're at the bottom of the barrel, you think nobody cares. And that place really shows them there's a lot of people out here in a lot of different places that care and want to see them do better in life and become a part of the community. Because if I'm not hanging out with the same people that think like that, I'm not going to be thinking like that, especially if I am focusing on, like I said earlier, changing that stinking thinking. And then, you're going to think, oh, well, I've been locked up and I know what addiction can do now, so maybe if I just do it this once, I'm gonna be all right. Like, I can have me a Busch Light and smoke a joint, you know what I'm saying?
but that ain't gonna work, bro.
Over the weeks, I've seen them change. I've seen the look in their eyes change. I've seen their actions change. I've seen them become more involved in the classwork and in talking in the group discussions. And I've seen guys that don't talk on the unit, don't talk during class. The first few weeks, they completely open up, and they're the ones that don't stop talking. Like, once they open up, they break down those walls and those barriers and start working those steps. They change, and you can see the light just ignite in them.
Cool dude. He's been through the ringer, you know, and the fact that he's been through it all and he comes and gives his testimony, then, and like he said, if he can make it back, anybody can make it back. You know, he did a lot of hard time. I mean, he's one of the guys that kind of give me the inspiration to, he's giving back. You know, he's not getting anything out of it except for what he gets in his heart for himself. And man, I dig it. I dig what he's doing.
Well, they passed around some pictures yesterday in a class we had of some people that were on some kind of crocodile, alligator, some kind of drug, and they just looked I mean, and I was thinking, when I seen that picture of that girl,
Bro, right here.
Just look at that picture.
let me see that. Look a little rough there.
Night and day, bro. You were sunk up when you came in here. You hear me?
That is terrible.
Yeah. I just want to let you know you don't look like that anymore. It makes you feel better.
Hey, listen, you turn the camera off now.
That would have been up there with catfishes. You don't have to be a low life your whole life. You don't have to be a low life your whole life.
I want to make the world better. You know, I want to help people. I want to share love. I want to spread life amongst the world. You know, being here and getting to know myself and learning to love myself has allowed me to see other people who are where I used to be and who haven't learned how to do that. You know, and that's my wish, is for everyone to learn to love themselves like God's shown me to love myself. I really think that's the whole issue with addiction, is not understanding that.
Addiction doesn't just affect the person using. The toll on their families can be devastating. Tomorrow, hear from the families of these young men and their fears of what could happen when they get out into the real world. Out for Life continues Wednesday night at 10.